Hello everyone, this is Maitri Anvekar, the Technical Account Manager in Micro Focus Saas. The awaited new version ALM 16 has been released last month. So we have set this webinar up to give you a quick peek into the cool enhancements and functionalities introduced in this version. So in this session, let's look at the enhancements in WebRunner with a new module added to it, in My Home page with a new tab added, and new graph types that have been added for the analysis and dashboard module. Along with this, we can see new features like web administration, the most awaited Teams integration, a new plugin for Jira integration, and quality insight for executive reporting. Right, let's begin with WebRunner. So WebRunner, which is a pure web-based user interface with partial functionalities of ALM Client, was introduced in version 15. There have been lots of enhancements for WebRunner from when it has been released. And in version 16, we have a new module that has been introduced for test authoring, along with other enhancements as well. One key point to note is that WebRunner does not support workflows that have been defined in the project. So new test plan module is now available on WebRunner, which enables the users to do test management. Day-to-day activities of a QA engineer could now be done through WebRunner, like creating tests, executing them, can do defect management if the tests fail by editing or creating new defects, and also can view reports through the dashboard module. The next enhancement in WebRunner is in the defects module of WebRunner, wherein we have a fully functional filter that is now available for the users to filter based on system and user-defined fields. Then we have enhancements in the admin portal of the WebRunner, wherein for any reason, if you would like to disable WebRunner for a specific project or disable certain modules of WebRunner for a project, it can be done through this portal. For SaaS customers, suggest a request be raised. The administration of WebRunner is managed by the SaaS team. One of the common reasons for WebRunner being disabled for some modules is workflows being defined on the project level for these modules. Now let's go to a quick demo of the enhancements that have been done in WebRunner. So WebRunner can be accessed through the QC bin page and by clicking on the WebRunner link, or can be accessed directly through the WebRunner URL as well. And this is the WebRunner UI where we can see the new test plan module being added to it. So in the test plan module, we can now see the test folders and the tests that have been defined in this project. So there are different options available from the test folder level. Creating a folder within a test set folder and creating a test within that test set folder. So we can see the required fields being populated. And can expand to populate the other fields for this test. So we can see that memo fields pop up where users can input their information. Once I'm happy with the data I've inputted, I save the test. And then I would be able to add the design steps for these tests. So now we have two steps that have been added to this test, and I would like to add attachments to the step, and doing so by clicking on the attachment, and then would like to add attachment on the test level as well, which I've done through the attachments link. And now we can see that the test has been created with design steps and attachments. So I can navigate back to the parent folder by using the links on the top of the test set folder on the test set, and can use the tree view to see the hierarchical structure of these test set folders. There are also different functionalities available that can be performed on the entities in the tree folder, in the tree structure. So moving to the next enhancement, which has been done in the defects module for WebRunner, we have the old filters that were available in the previous versions, which is like viewing all the defects, viewing the defects assigned to the user, detected by the user, and also have access to the favorites that have been defined in the project for the defects. Along with that, we have the filters option now, which is a fully functional filter, and we can define filters based on different fields for the defect. So here I've created a filter based on priority, and I'm creating another filter based on the status. And accordingly, we can see that the defects have been filtered based on these two criteria. So these were the two enhancements that were done on WebRunner from WebRunner perspective. And we have the other modules like the test lab and dashboard as well. So from the settings perspective, administrators could define entity settings for defects and run module for the WebRunner. So this was a quick overview of WebRunner. And now let's go to the next topic, which is web administration, which is a new feature that has been introduced in this version. So very important highlight, the web administration will be replacing the Saas add-on or the administration tab that was available for our Saas customers. And this will be done from version ALM 16. Good news is that it's web-based, so it can be accessed from any browser. From features and functionalities perspective, they are almost similar to the Saas add-on with a new look and feel. For on-prem customers, web administration is under technical preview and would be a first step towards replacing the current site administration portal. And now let's take a quick look at the web administration. So web administration can be accessed from the QC bin page or through the direct URL to web administration. So here the users or the administrators can log in, or there are some more functionalities available where if the user is logging in for a first time, they can set their password by coming to this portal or get their authentication details if they've forgotten any of them. Right, so this is how the web administration portal looks like, wherein we have different options available on the left-hand side of the screen and some more information on the top bars. So in the Projects tab, the administrators can manage the domains and projects that are defined for the ALM instance and can create new domains, projects, and templates as well. So here I'm creating a domain called shopping application. and we can create a project with similar functionalities that was available in add-on. So if it is an ALM instance, then you have the option to create template projects as well. So I'm just opening up a existing template project. And linking it to a project. Yeah, we can also enable versioning from this UI. So moving to the next module, which is the user management module. So in this module, the administrators can manage the users that have access to this instance. So here I'm just trying to create a new user. Wherein I enter the required information or information depending on the organizational requirements. So we can now see that the user has been created, and we also have different options that we can do from the user management perspective, like activating, deactivating users, assigning roles, setting the policies. And if you would like to import users, we also have that option under More, wherein you could import users from a CSV file. And from assigning users to the projects, you could select multiple users to do that, and this would be very handy from administration perspective. So here I'm assigning 2 users to a project and can also select the user groups within the project and assign them to the user from the user management portal itself. So we also have the send email option where administrators could send notifications to users and also can send notifications to users in a project or domain from this option. So moving to the next module, which is the role management module. If you have a requirement to create a new role for administrators with filtered functionalities or responsibilities, you could do that from this module. So here I'm creating a domain manager role and giving this user permissions to create and manage the projects. So once the role is created, I can assign it to the user. In the authentication module, if there are any password policies that you would like to create, a new policy that you would like to create, so this is the module in which you do it, and then you could assign these policies to users. The next module is the license module, in which the administrators can see the license usage for the instance. 2 ways to see it. You can see it in a line chart format, or you could see it in a data grid format as well. And you could select the time frame for which you would like to generate this report for. And in the end, we have the monitoring module, in which we have connected users tab, which will show the number of the users, different users that are currently connected to the instance. Here there is an option to also disconnect the user for any reason if the administrator would like to do so as well, and with other functionalities. And in the end, we have the audit logs, which shows the audits or the changes that have been made in this web administration portal. And on the top, we have the link for the Saas information page for our Saas customers, which would provide useful reports for from user perspective. And then we have the My Settings for users who log in to verify their details. And of course, the logout option. So this was a quick overview of web administration and the different actions that administrators can perform on this portal. So moving to the next topic, which is the My Home page. There have been further enhancements made in My Home page in ALM 16. A new dashboard tab has been introduced in My Home page. So if there are graph types that the user frequently views, then the user could pin this dashboard page to their My Home page to easily access these reports. Let's look at the enhancements in the analysis and dashboard module, where we have more graph types that have been introduced and some enhancements in the features have been done. So the defects cycle time is the new graph type that has been introduced for the defect entity. And in this graph, we can find out the cycle time it takes for, it generally takes for a defect for different statuses. So this would be very useful to find out if there are any issues in the release cycle. Another new graph type that has been introduced is the Defect Anomalies graph. This graph would be very handy to find out defects that are stuck for X amount of time in a specific phase of a defect. Again, very useful for finding anomalies to prevent delays in the development cycle. Enhancement or new feature that has been added is now we are able to sort the data that is displayed in the graph in an ascending or descending order. And this can be done for summary graphs. Now let's look at a demo on some of the enhancement features that we discussed. So here I'm accessing the My Home page. So along with my work, we can see the My Dashboard tab also added with My Home page. We can see that there is a message displayed to pin a dashboard page to the My Home page module. And this can be done by going to the dashboard view and selecting the dashboard that the user would like to add to his or her My Home page, and right-clicking on it, and then the user gets the option to like pin My Home page. Just click on that, and then the dashboard page gets added to the My Dashboard page. Quite easy and just a few steps, and we have the dashboard page on My Dashboard added. Let's now look at the enhancements that have been done in the analysis module. So here I'm trying to create a new graph for defect entities, and we can see that the new graph type has been added. I've selected the cycle time by phase. Yeah, from the configuration perspective, we have seen that the status has been selected. And now we have the graph, which shows the average number of days a defect has stayed at a specific status. So this could be a very good starting point to see if there is anything that the team could work on to improve these numbers. So from the appearance perspective, we could sort this data out to analyze the data in a much easier way. So for this, we have the new enhancement to sort the data out in an ascending or descending order. So I'm selecting the descending order to find out which is the phase that takes the maximum time to work on by the users or the team. So moving to the next new graph that has been introduced in the defect entities, and that is the anomalies graph. Right. We see that the graph has been created and we are in the configuration page. So here we can see the third field, which is the duration field. So if you would like to see the number of defects that are in new status for more than 30 days, so we can put that duration in and the report would be generated accordingly. And we could also define the work days that the system should consider to calculate these number of days. So based on the configuration, the report is generated. And here we can see the number of defects that are there in the status after so many days. To drill down further, we can click on this and get the list of defects that have been considered to generate this report. All right, so this was a quick overview of the enhancements in the analysis module and the My Homepage module. So moving to the next topic, which is Microsoft Teams integration. So this feature has been requested by many of our customers, and the good news is that it is available in ALM 16. So Microsoft Teams can be integrated with ALM 16. Of course, there is configuration involved. So the details can be found in the Help Center. And for our Saas customers, we would suggest a request be raised so the configurational changes can be done to implement this. And once this feature is enabled, it would be very useful for the team to communicate within each other and share the ideas or have quick fixes for the issues that the team is working on. The next feature is Jira integration. We have a new plugin introduced for Jira integration for ALM. The plugin is called ALM Test Management plugin. This new plugin allows Jira users to continue planning and delivering their work items in Jira with immediate visibility of the large quality process being managed in ALM. Jira users can understand at a glance if test cases have been assigned, executed, and their status as well. So when deeper quality insight is needed, users can simply click on the link provided. So in the screenshot, we can see the blue link that is available. So the user can just click on that, and this would open the rich ALM views to more fully understand the test details, the runs, the trends, and other associated informations and graphs related. So moving to the next topic, we have Quality Insight, which is the new window now available and is in tech preview. So Quality Insight provides an executive dashboard along with global search, and it enables users to create and manage KPI cards, and it is built upon Elasticsearch infrastructure. The KPI cards that are created in this executive dashboard could be very useful in tracking the teams and organizations' progress towards the goals. Let's look at a quick demo on Quality Insight. One thing to note is Quality Insight will need to be configured on ALM server side to have this option available. And the projects that you would like to include in this Quality Insight will need to be selected during this configuration process. Okay, so once the server side changes have been implemented or configurations have been done, we see the Quality Insight link available in the QC bin page. Would require the user to authenticate to the instance. And once done so, we are in the Quality Insight UI. So here we see two tabs, Executive Dashboard tab and the Global Search tab. So in the Executive Dashboard tab, we see the Edit mode, wherein the user can create cards, KPI cards to see the results or to see the data depending on the goals they have to achieve. So here I'm trying to create a card to display the total number of defects in the project. So here we are seeing the number of the total defects in this project. And I'm going to add another card, which will show me the number of P1 defects in this project. So I'm selecting the P1 priority to filter the data. Right, I'm happy with the filter and I'm going to save this card. So this gives me the total number of P1 defects in this project. But I would like to also know the percentage of P1 defects to analyze the data further. So we'll add a percentage card. And select the numerator and denominator to tell how the data is to be calculated. And this will result in a percentage KPI card, which shows me the percentage of P1 defects in this project. So once I'm happy with the editing, I go exit the edit mode, and then I can further drill down to find out which are the defects that have contributed to a specific card by clicking on the card. So this was about executive dashboard, and in quality insight we have the global search tab included as well, wherein global search can be done on projects. So that was the demo on quality insight. Moving to the next topic, wherein we can see more enhancements that were done in ALM 16. So ALM 16 now supports Google Sheet add-on, support uploading requirements, test defects from Google Sheets. So we have add-on available for Micro Focus in Google Sheets that can be used to upload this data across. I do have a demo for how this add-on can be installed and how we could use it. So in the Google Sheets, if you go to the add-ons tab, you can filter out based on Micro Focus ALM, and then you get the add-on that needs to be installed. And the installation process is as follows. Once the add-on has been installed, we can go to the add-on tab and select Micro Focus ALM add-on and start. So this would require you to log into the ALM instance, which you can do by using username, password, or can use API keys as well. So I'm using the API key to authenticate to this app here. And then we log into the domain and project for which we would like to upload the data. And then there are two steps involved, wherein we validate the data. And once the data is validated, we upload the data to ALM. And once the upload has been done, we could verify if these tests have been created in the ALM project, wherein I'm in the test plan module. And if I refresh, I will see these tests created in the test banking test folder. Right, so this was about the add-in for Google Sheets. The next enhancement has been done in the lab management module, wherein we have the edit recurrence dialog box. This enables you to edit the recurrences of the time slot reservations, and you could repeat it daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. And this is available for testing time slots that start automatically. We also have enhancements from audit logs perspective. So audit logs capture more information now. They capture the changes that have been done in workflows. They capture the IP addresses of the connected users. We also have the ability to query the history information, especially with regards to the entity linkages. We believe that this would highly benefit our customers and also help us debugging any issues that occur. We will soon have a ALM mobile dashboard app, which would help our users to view dashboard pages from their mobile devices. And this would not require the download of the ALM client. So we believe that this will be very useful for our users to see how the progress is happening. So these were all the different enhancements and features that are being introduced in ALM 16. Now let's take a look at the different client options that we have to access ALM. So first being the client launcher, which is the recommended way to access ALM. It will not require administrative permissions on Windows, but yes, the user will need to have permissions to run exe on the machine. It will automatically download the client files from the server and also update if there are any updates on the server side. The next option is the web runner, which we saw a demo for, which is a pure web-based tool. So you could access this from any browser. It has limited functionalities that is available in ALM client and does not support workflows. The next option is quality of things. So if there is a requirement to run any tests offline, then this is the tool to go for. It can be downloaded from Marketplace, wherein the users can select the test that they want to run offline. So these tests get downloaded, they can go offline, run these tests, and go online and upload the results into ALM. Then we have other options wherein we have ALM Explorer. Now this requires Windows administrative permissions to install, but it is not dependent on Internet Explorer, similar to Client Launcher, which has its own browser as well. Then we have IE Client and Edge Client, which requires installation of client files on the machine and requires Windows administrative permissions. This can be done through installing the client files through the MSI as well. Last but not the least, we have the Microsoft application virtualization also supported for ALM client. So this was a quick overview of the different client options that we have to access ALM. And here we have the list of ALM QC resources. We have a lot of data in there, but it has been put in, so it comes handy for you whenever you would like to find out more information on ALM. Along with this, highly recommend using the Help Center for ALM, which has lots of information in there, ALM community, and also Idea Exchange, wherein if you have any enhancements requests, would recommend posting there, or the different ideas that the users have posted, you could vote on them as well. And those pages are managed by our R&D team and the product management team. So if idea gets lots of votes, R&D would surely consider them for implementing these enhancements. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. And to summarize on my main points, we have the web interface, enhancements from web runner perspective, which has the test authoring, and from the defects perspective, where we have the new filtering window and web administration portal as well. Then in my home page, we have the My Dashboard tab available for users to pin a dashboard page for them to view. And we have new graph types in the analysis module, which are the cycle time graph and the anomalies graph, which would be very handy to analyze on the defects. Then we have quality insight, which is on tech preview, but it has features to create KPI cards from executive dashboard perspective. Then we have the Teams integration, which would be very handy for the teams to work on ALM and get in touch with the users that are involved in the project. Then the Jira plugin, which is the ALM test management plugin that is available to integrate Jira with ALM. And there have been enhancements from audit log perspective. So now audit logs capture much more information. So it would be very useful from analysis perspective or finding out why the issues are caused or what changes have been done. So these changes would come very handy from that perspective. And last but not the least, we have enhancements from the lab management perspective, and also the graph settings, which has now the options to sort the data in an ascending and descending order. Would highly recommend exploring these new features and functionalities of ALM 16. Hope you found the session useful. So this is all I had to share today.